Hi, I'm Mark Darren, designer on Tales of Monkey Island, and you're listening to the audio commentary for Episode 5, Rise of the Pirate God.
I'm Mike Stone, designer on Tales of Monkey Island. I did nothing on this episode but watch it getting made while I worked on Sam & Max.
Hey, this is Ryan Jones. I'm the concept artist here, and I drew a lot of stuff for this one.
Nice. I'm Jake Rodkin. I directed this episode with Mark.
And this is Dave Grossman, the design director and general layabout.
So Mike Stenley just lied to you. He actually wrote a huge section because I got caught up in writing. I needed some help and gave him the whole Treasure Hunter section to write, and he did all of that. So there.
Oh, yeah. I guess I did learn something. It's all a blur now.
This is the episode that everyone worked on,
Yeah,
including half of the Sam & Max team.
That's true.
Yeah.
There was a pretty decent-sized pig pile on this puppy.
Oh, this is episodic gaming at its finest. The old Grog XD thing was going down in the news while we were working on the series, and we actually managed to work in a reference in that soda machine right there.
Yeah.
I think we accidentally made 2 Grog XD references this season because it's one of the things that can randomly be on Guybrush's crew farm too. So we love Grog XD.
If you don't know what that's about, look it up online. There's a funny story about that. I love how Guybrush looks as a ghost.
Yes, that was old Jake. Made Guybrush cool and see-through. I originally said no bones. I think that's silly, and then you did it anyway.
There had to
again,
be
it was
bones.
awesome.
I really wanted him to look the same as the concept art from the first game of Ghost LeChuck with the...
And you were right.
Yeah, I was right. What?
Wasn't there originally a creepy hand sticking out of the side of that pile of gold?
Yeah, there was a hand holding a torch.
Murray?
It made no sense.
Goodness. Not that I'm scared of Murray. Murray's a punk. You hear that, Murray? You're a punk.
This episode was definitely the hardest one to write.
You look like,
Yeah, by the time we got to this episode, we had kind of reached the climax of the story in the previous one when Guybrush got killed.
you should probably
And
talk to me.
our plot synopsis on paper was just kind of Guybrush comes back from the land of the dead and kills LeChuck.
Right.
That's happen with every series that we do. We'll plan out the season, and we'll be pretty detailed about the plans for the first couple of episodes, and then we get to the end and it's like, oh, got to start writing these individual ones. And meanwhile, the end of the season is kind of very loosely planned in that way, and then we finally get to episode 5 and we're like, oh, wait, there's some work we forgot to do.
There has to be a game.
We need to wrap up all these plot threads. No.
You are too. Now go away.
Well, you'll be happy to know that I
I mean, no, it works like a well-oiled machine at all times.
What? Death must have scrambled your noggin. LeChuck killed me. Desage killed you.
In the 4th episode, when Morgan whispers something to Guybrush at the end, and we put in an explicit director's note of,
My one shot every
she
day
says
is
something
out.
unintelligible that Guybrush will misinterpret as Desenge killed me, and then I left it to Mark to actually figure that out, and he punted it back to me. So I ended up writing a really horrible line about what to explain it away.
That was good, though.
Look, I'm not planning
I like the
on
way
sticking
the
around this
this
length of a
in-sword
I got
compliment
unfinished business
sword
with
fight
Chuck
came out.
Hammer.
I know
Yeah.
early on when we had just started producing these, I had made a statement, we're not doing any kind of insult
Right.
sword fighting.
I'm a worthless
And
bastard.
people questioned that, and I stood by it, and I wasn't planning on it. And somewhere along the line, somebody mentioned that we would be fighting 2 people at once in insult sword fighting. And I liked the idea, so I worked really hard to try to make it work. And not make it overbearing as well.
LeChuck?
Yep. But then, even then, some people said, "Oh, insult sword fighting's back," but it was so short in this game. So
Yeah, it was an homage.
yeah, I thought that was great.
But it worked really well. I liked it.
He just wanted to kill me, huh?
That'd be like
Aye, that makes sense. Smaller men quiver at my unmistakably masculine swagger.
The way I wave this sword around, it's like I'm a little boy.
Believe me, you're all woman.
I'm useless.
We also talked about having that guy with the missing head have his head wrapped up in bandages and only half a mustache in that cast.
Oh yeah,
He's supposed to be really messed up.
yeah.
You know what?
Well, I think it's because people were concerned that he would look very similar to another male character in this scene who's sitting right next to him. But
Morgan, right?
yeah,
That's the one.
Morgan.
Is that a good idea?
Or not.
What?
No, this is just my reputation. I can
She's lying.
It's not just a reputation.
We went back and forth a lot about how subtle to make this scene, I remember.
Yeah, there's a lot of bits in this where I had written it kind of out completely, not really intending to keep it that way, but also not necessarily having the time to edit it. But you guys helped jump in and
Yeah,
pull
everyone beat it
back
up.
when it was too overt and made it where it should have been.
But I mean, looking at people who had played through it, some people thought that some people caught on to the fact that it was Independence and not Reputation. Some people didn't, but only some people hated it. So
It's one of the hardest things, though, is the judging. Like, how is the audience going to generally receive this, and where is that line beyond which we're just insulting their intelligence by spelling everything out
Right.
too explicitly?
yeah, we probably shouldn't have cut The Secret of Monkey Island out of the script, though.
Oh.
Yeah. I love the fact that we made a genuine voodoo Crossroads thing with a Monkey Island theme.
Yep.
And the fact that he poked it with a giant Q-tip.
Yeah, and the fact that it makes a weird kettle drum sound, which not everyone liked. I liked that it sounded like, for some reason, the Crossroads sound like a crusty metal garage door or something.
Yeah, I love the way the art direction went in this episode. It got that really dark, scary feeling to it. The Chuck ship is amazing. I kind of wish we had some of these designs in the earlier episodes, but the fact that we didn't made it even more amazing when it showed up here.
Well, yeah, Ryan painted, or you did a pencil sketch
yeah,
of
I
the
did a
ship,
pencil
and then
sketch.
Derek, who did a lot of our lighting, just came in and painted it, just looking like the most crazy.
Badass.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I broke your spirit, not your back. Is
Yep.
a great line.
LeChuck walking is funny.
Little legs.
Little teeny 5 feet.
Oh yeah, we got skeleton minions back for this as well.
Yes,
Just everyone can see that. I just thought I'd say it.
that was an important thing.
I also like the fact that the Crossroads open and he just totally misses the ship.
Oh god.
The
Yeah, that was-
original animation of that was very disturbing.
Yeah, when the sponge went into the... But
Yeah.
the director's notes for that was just like, LeChuck says something and then the sponge is in the Crossroads rip. It's like, what?
I got a bit vague on the
Do
director's
the
notes in
minions do
parts.
it? Do we just model a trebuchet? He throws it,
He
apparently.
throws it. He's LeChuck.
What's going on here?
Guybrush?
This weapon that was designed to destroy me will
And many times I wrote in the director's note, a giant battle ensues with cannonballs flying and skeletons running around everywhere. And at that point, just left it up to the animators.
We got a fair amount of stuff in, though.
Yeah, I was
think-
really surprised.
We shall slay her together. Make me your demon bride. What?
my demon bride. Kinda gives
What
you
was
all
that big voodoo skull head from?
That big voodoo skull head was over the top of LeChuck's throne in his fortress in 2, and it's also
Right.
over the door of the captain's quarters in 3. So for some reason he likes that big old voodoo skull.
And then Elaine becomes scary goth chick Elaine.
Which the internet seems to be really fond of.
Bunny.
Don't say that.
I know we had to fight to get that dress on her as well because we were
It was-
pressing the budget at every corner on this episode.
It's like, what do you want? Well, we want LeChuck to throw Guybrush around the ship. We want 6 skeleton guys who can get a sword fight. Also, Elaine has to wear a dress, which is really hard to do, and we need a dog, which we've never had before. So,
Lady Boo, let's not be hasty.
and Elaine has to spray Guybrush with root beer and turn him into a skeleton.
And that has to look amazing.
So what's the problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all fine. See, it's all here.
It's all totally worth it.
How'd my body get back here?
Oh, in the Night of the Living Dead Guybrush? Like, who decided to texture him that way? Like zombie Guybrush?
Well, we knew we wanted him to be textured like something.
But you mean like the super like dried out crusty
Yeah,
skin?
because he looks like Night of the Dawn of the Dead, the original. Like, the
that
zombies
was,
from that.
It was probably Jason who did the...
Yeah, that...
I love it.
Yeah, it's good. And then he's got his zombie walk.
Yeah.
It's either Jason or Derek. I know Derek put a lot of work into the texture of this as well.
Yeah.
Rotting body again. I can touch anything I want. So get ready to be touched.
Touched.
To death.
Pointy
We went back and forth on how zombie-like that walk was going to be and how...
that stings.
Yeah, it just looked weird for a while because it was too good.
Yeah, it made you walk very slow.
The sword now has enough demonic
And there was a lot of walking to do in this episode.
There was, yeah, it's one of those ones where they're just, at the end of the day, there was accidentally maybe too much, but
There was. It didn't seem like
didn't
that
seem like
much
it at
on
the time.
paper.
Yeah.
I had it all mapped out, and I could just point at things, but I forgot that he had to walk there. Lesson learned.
it's a good creepy
It's
walk.
just creepy as heck.
Oh, but the best thing is about the show.
Sweetie, stop. It's me.
Wait for it.
Oh,
Winslow.
Winslow easily became my favorite character to ride for. And that
the
was
audience liked
uh,
him too. The people on the forums kept
Yeah.
for more Winslow, so it was like his original part was meant to be smaller.
Yeah, but,
and-
well, yeah, he wasn't in 4, but then it was like, if he's in 5, he's got to... Oh, no, it was originally Elaine who showed up on the ship,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and she'd learned about this stuff from the Mer Leader.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we
And then it was
got
like-
laden in all of the...
Make
demon
Elaine
bright.
evil and leave her on the ship, and then Winslow, for some reason, just knows.
Winslow's gets to have his Han Solo moment. It's
Yeah.
good.
And much better to have Elaine be kind of more central to this.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
It got
Also-
too convoluted having her be on the ship and then escape and then show up again.
Yeah.
When you were smaller.
Sean Vanneman kept wanting Winslow to die in that scene as well. He wanted Winslow to pass on the information and then just take a bullet. And then, well, the idea was that he'd then sort of end up like the old man in Treasure of the Sierra Madre and sort of be with the Mer people as they nurse him back to health.
There is nowhere you can go where I cannot find you.
And Winslow got, I
One
think,
more chest to open up with your hook.
just one more. Yeah, Winslow got his personality in episode 2,
Who's-
thanks
by
to
the
Dave
way-
Grossman prodding beyond that. I had a bunch of lines or some of the scenes were kind of static, and there wasn't a lot of jokes going on. And he's saying, "Pump it up, make it funny, make it funny." You just kept telling me to make it funny.
What scene was that I was telling you?
Bugged me. That was when Guybrush first got off the ship and was going into the town, and Winslow's just like, "Don't forget to get your mask fixed." You said, "That's not funny. Make it funny."
See, that's what the design director gets to do. And I'm not actually responsible for making it funny. Just
Whose
you
idea was
put some
the
funny in there.
talking
Increase the
dead
funny.
seagull?
That's, I think Sean and I might have,
I don't know. It was-
or you, I don't know. The
It came up
voodoo
in
lady
the
in the clearing
design.
was just, that was an extra thing that just,
Guybrush, help!
The voodoo
Eh.
lady. She brought me back.
Voodoo lady?
At some point, we had talked about the voodoo lady speaking through an animal. I think it was the crabs first.
the crabs were first right, and then we added the forest clearing just to have one more location and to give Guybrush some time to talk with the voodoo lady before the story was over. Oh, this is Nick Herman's cutscene, and you can tell because of the shots of 400,000 things flying through the air and
Enough of this.
on my favorite Winslow shot of the series.
Far too long. Elaine is mine, my demon bride, to make me.
I think at some point that last puzzle involved climbing on those frozen tridents that were stuck in the air.
Oh, jeez.
But it was complicated enough as it was.
Well, the original version of this puzzle was just Guybrush is in the afterlife, LeChuck is jumping back and forth, and you close it.
To work with, does he?
Was that it?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And then it turned into like Lethal Weapon.
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
you're right. There was not really a big thing at the end originally, and this episode didn't really have a centerpiece puzzle.
Treacherous gesture, my
So we worked hard on getting that in at the last minute.
Yeah, that was another one of those. Also,
Yes, after everything had already been budgeted
you thought
out.
this episode was over budget. Well, we went 5 minutes of animation of characters throwing each other.
Yeah. Nice callback on the buttercup too. That's good.
You can temporarily destroy my body, Elaine, but you cannot damage my spirit.
I almost threw in one more unholy this, but it was weak.
But then, well, Mike got the last good unholy this.
No, he had
before.
the best one, so the one after this was lame, so it went away.
Get that sword.
Look, we can kill LeChuck, but we have to find a way to take him on in both the
Where did she
physical
get that
and
sword?
spiritual plane at the same time.
Dun dun dun.
She got it there in the Crossroads somewhere.
I know where she got the
Get
sword.
it?
Oh, I thought you were actually telling me.
I'll be back for you, lass.
We did a lot of rewriting on the fly in this episode, which made ended up that we had a lot of extra dialogue that never got in here, which could almost make an entire other episode.
There's the secret additional Monkey 105.
Yeah.
It won't make any sense, which is why it's not in here.
To be fair,
But there's a lot of it.
Can we just put it on the DVD? Where is it?
I think we should.
Just imagine what I'm gonna do to you.
Oh yeah, we got to do the thing with every character just sitting in bleachers doing a table read of all the cut dialogue.
The epicness of Guybrush getting the living bejeebus beaten out of him is wonderful.
Yeah, this was sort of like, like, you know, we had a human LeChuck who was goofy, and that was kind of a reflection of LeChuck sort of has trended towards being a sort of goofier villain over the entirety of Monkey Island. After like,
Yeah.
we
Now he-
thought it'd be cool to just make him a straight up jerk again.
Yeah. And a brutal
Had to be that way.
sadistic SOB.
Yeah. But just no one likes this guy, but he's so nice, or at least he's like funny.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is reading on the forums how people don't like to play this segment of the game because they just feel so bad about Guybrush getting beat up.
I know.
And every
Look at
time they
this.
do something, they just feel really bad. That makes me smile. So LeChuck got his horns back, but didn't get the tusks.
Yeah. It's just not
Not those
easy to
tusks.
make people feel bad in a comedy game and still have it be good.
Just like the Guybrush trying to make lame jokes after every beat.
Yeah, he still has his little one-liners, and he's still doing the most stupid puzzle solution to get out of the situation.
I'll make it. Yes, give me a big enough lever, and I can.
I can't compliment Dominic enough for his performance
Yep.
throughout and the level of emotion that he was able to put into this goofy character.
And then there's the most indulgent callback ever of the
Cannon
pot on head.
Pot on head.
Oh, and also Dominic is extremely good at rhythm-based games. He
Oh yeah, that
is
guy
like amazingly good at.
he destroys everyone at DDR and Taiko drumming and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know about DDR, but he's obsessed with Guitar
Or
Hero.
Guitar Hero, that's
Yeah.
the one. It's instrument stuff.
Yeah, he's a big gamer. That's good.
This was something we knew we wanted to do very early on. I think it came up in the Ron Gilbert discussions. The whole, I initially started with an idea from The Perfect Storm of him just floating out in the ocean by himself at the end of the game, having won but being all alone and drowning. And we kind of went from there to this point where he sacrifices his last shred of life.
And the idea about the ring being kind of the final thing in the game, the final puzzle bit that you had to do, is also one of the ideas that came out of those sessions with Ron Gilbert.
Is it over?
And that pun will not localize.
Darn.
We did
Thought
it.
we learned that lesson 20 years ago. Oh well.
Yeah, when you use a monkey wrench on the center of the crossroads.
Exactly.
Courage, anchor, direction, sacrifice.
A lot of people were actually really affected by
In a
the
ring at
end of
center
this, which
the
I thought was cool. I read a lot of comments from people who, waking up in the middle, it worked really well. It was good.
Yeah.
I don't know. I liked that. The end.
Wow, what a rush!
And I noticed there was a lot of people commenting that they thought it would have been interesting if it had just ended before this part where he just
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
stuck in the afterlife. He's beaten LeChuck, but he's all alone. Man, that would have been a depressing ending, though.
That'd have been the artsy-fartsy indie ending.
I think it would have been a cool ending, but I also think that you can't quite end it like that. So
A lot of people
I
wonder.
definitely see the merit in it.
A lot of people wonder how he got his hand back as well.
They sure do.
Well, you know, when you come back from from the afterlife, you come back whole.
Yes,
Or
he's
something.
basically
When
Guybrush.
it's a
He's
pure resurrection.
Guybrush the White now.
Yep.
It's this is an entirely new body.
We were talking about that. We pushed the limit too far, but it was like we talked about very briefly of him coming back wearing the Monkey Island 1 clothes and without his goatee.
Yeah.
There's actually lots and lots of discussion about the hand and when it was attached and when it wasn't attached and how it was going to get stuck back on and whether or not you should have it when you come back from the.
Should we talk about how we dropped the ball on the hand?
No,
about
we kind of decided somewhere in the middle that because we knew we had to get a hand back on him, we knew we couldn't leave him without a hand, but we also were kind of wanted there to be an act. After a couple episodes in, we decided, wouldn't it be really funny if the severed hand was still around?
Yeah. I still... Whoa, the credits are over, so I can't talk about it. Well, you'll
No,
never
we're still
know.
going.
Oh, that's
No,
the
we haven't
end.
gotten to the
Oh, that part.
yeah.
That is the end.
I'll talk really quickly about it. Just in Monkey Island 2, if you have a ghost, a body, and a living piece of them, those are the three ingredients to bring someone back from the dead.
Yeah.
And we have Guybrush's ghost, Guybrush's body, and his living hand.
Right.
And we have
There
Spirit
was
Gum as
that.
well. So, so it goes.
I know he wanted to, at some point we talked about him putting his hand back on using some kind of weird merfolk glue.
Yeah.
That line is still in as well. That and the reefs both stayed
Yeah,
in.
they're still.
Yeah, it's interesting. There are setups in there for things that got cut from the series.
Can we still see the hand here? His hand, his
She
severed
has the
hand
hand.
still exists.
She also has DeSinge's pox distilling machine, but I don't know if you can see it.
What does it all mean?
Now go. There is much work to be done before the tides of destiny shift again.
You ain't kidding.
Whoa. Is that it?
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Yay.